Ash. Dead infants don't get urns unless you pay for them, and then they stuff crap in besides just ashes to cover the smallness. All those years ago, my daughter's ashes were in a small pink box, pink for girls, a box the size of a hacky sack ball that fits in the palm of your hand. I took my box to Heceta Head. The coast at Heceta Head in December is epic. Me, my first husband, my sister, and weirdly, my parents. Near strangers. Pretending to be a family, we stumble-walked down over the rocks to the water's edge. The sound of ocean waves is large enough to stop your thinking. My mother closed her eyes and said a prayer in a southern drawl. Philip sang "I See the Moon," the lullaby my mother sang to me as a child, which made me feel a little like I might faint. My sister read "Ample Make This Bed" by Emily Dickinson, nearly killing us all. Then my father, the architect, pulled something out of his pocket, a folded-up piece of paper. On it he'd written a poem, sort of. It rhymed. When he read it, his voice shook. The only time in my life I heard that. It rained cold, windy, like Oregon is. After that, Philip and I took the little pink box, which I had been clutching in my hand hard enough to nearly crush it, and walked over to where the river joins the ocean. That's why I picked that spot. I could see river rocks leading into the sea and sand, and I smelled and tasted salt water. I don't know if I was crying. My face was wet with ocean and rain. The lighthouse stood guard. All the waters of a life met at that tiny nexus. Then I handed him the fragile little box. He took it in his hand. I said, "Throw it as far as you can." So there isn't another way to say this. He chucked it. Yeah, so the thing is, that little riverway that leads to the sea, right there at Heceta Head, it has a mean cross-current. So while Philip and I stood there watching the little box float nearly out of eyesight,